Hi, Chibi Neko here, and yesterday I seen X-Men First Class. And before I continue on, I must warn you there are spoilers. So if you don't want to know what happens, stop the video right now, otherwise I will end up ruining everything for you. So, X-Men First Class, what did I think? So what did I think about X-Men First Class? It was good. I loved it. It was a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I have some criticisms about it. Nothing real bad, but I take no glee in coming up with criticisms for this movie. It's kind of like in The Dark Knight. You have this badass character, the Joker. You can't help but laugh at the stuff he does. Like, it makes you feel bad by laughing at him. It's kind of like with X-Men First Class. It's a great movie, and I actually feel kind of bad with the criticisms I have about it. It's nothing really bad. It's just that, in a nutshell, you pretty much have to ignore the first three movies. Maybe the Wolverine one, but X-Men 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, you pretty much have to ignore those movies to really enjoy this film. The main problem I have with X-Men First Class is that everything happens in it. Like, this is the kind of movie that could have... Well, actually, this movie in general could have been a trilogy when you really think about it. Yes, it had the things about Xavier and Eric, how they started out and how the mutants met up. That was totally expected. But when everything from getting the school established, getting Cerebro, doing the training, and even when it came to how Charles and Eric they split up, how Mystique goes with Eric, and everything happens. And the only problem with that is the pacing. It seemed like it happened way too fast. Now, it was done well, okay. Like I said, you have to ignore the other movies. Like, here's some more examples. Like, for example, in the other movies, it clearly states that Charles and Eric built Cerebro, not Beast. Okay, he didn't have anything to do with it. He's a smart guy, but that didn't happen. I didn't like how Beast became Beast right away in this movie, because in the comics and I'm pretty sure in the cartoon, he actually turns blue much later in a few years, but no, it happened right away in this movie. I also didn't like at the end where Eric, where Magneto suddenly leaves the team, leaves X-Men. I mean, this is the sort of thing that could take movies upon movies to do. Any fan of the comic and the cartoon and the first few movies, it's obviously aware that Magneto and Professor X, they've been friends for a very, very long time, but in First Class, it seems like they were only friends for a year, maybe? But in other media, they were like that. You know, they were best friends for a long time. Like, even the third movie, Charles and Eric, they're actually seen together much later in life, recruiting Jean Grey for the School of the Gifted. And so, you know, of course, they were together building the school, training the students, building Cerebro. So yeah, to me that didn't really make any sense. I didn't like that at all, how at the end of the movie all of a sudden Eric gets up, you know, gone. Other nitpicking thing, like, again, like, good movie, but okay, something else too is I don't like it how at the very end where Mystique suddenly gets up and leaves for Magneto. Like, in a way I kind of understand. You know, he seems to be the first person to really understand her, except for who she really is, you know, being this big, you know, this lovely blue person. But at the beginning of the movie, however, you know, she and Charles Xavier, you know, like best friends since childhood, going through college together, she being his assistant, he and her wanting to date him, and all of a sudden, like, she begins to like Beast. So until Beast kind of rejects her, oh no, we're not normal. We need, you know, even give her our blue looks. So And to me, the only reason why she went for Magneto is because she banged him. I don't know, but it's a weird thing. I mean, she's been with Charles Xavier for the longest time. Magneto has a few kind words for her, and that's it. You know, she just gets up and leaves Xavier and goes with Magneto. So yeah, stuff like that didn't make sense. Again, it's all with the pacing. They try to cram too much in this movie. Granted, you know, it turned out good, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to ignore the other, you know, ignore the actual history and the other movies that these went through. But all in all, though, I wouldn't let that discourage you from seeing it. Not at all. I mean, one more little bit of nitpicking. I mean, again, this is probably nothing. At the end of the movie, where Kevin Bacon, Sebastian Shaw, I'm calling him Bacon. when Magneto takes the coin and spins it towards Kevin Bacon and it goes through his head, Charles Xavier is like, no, like, you can't do it, don't kill him. And in my head I was going, well, Charles, if you don't want him to die, let Buddy go. Get out of his head, let Buddy go. But of course, again, you know, you can counter that argument by saying, you know, if he let, Kevin Bacon go, you could probably kick Magneto's ass, but I don't know, Magneto clearly had the upper hand there with all the metal around him, but you know, that's just me. But yeah, everything is in the movie. Pacing, but still, it was excellent movie. I mean, Bryan Singer, he wrote the story. Well, he did a lot of the writing, which makes sense because that's why the characters in this movie is so damn likable. I liked everybody. The action was there, the humor was there, everything was built up, the excitement, everything was in great balance, everything. So the criticism I have about it, again, you know, these are from a die-hard fan. I love X-Men. You know, everything happened in this movie at one shot, which technically could have been done in many movies. Certain continuity issues with the other movies. So technically, if you think about it, this movie would be great. It was just standalone. And it was like a reboot of the series, kind of like what Batman did. Reboot of the series, and it turned out great. So, yeah. So that's what to say. Great movie, few issues, but I don't think they really matter. You know, just go out, watch it, have a great time. And, yeah, X-Men First Class, great.